What's going on, game players? How are you guys doing? I would like to welcome you guys to the Analog Circle podcast, and I know you hear the music in the background, which can mean only one thing. That's right, it's another giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. Game players out there, it is another giveaway. Now this time, I'm giving away a $25 Xbox gift card. And I can't just give away an Xbox card because not everybody owns an Xbox. I also have a PlayStation Store gift card as well. And I tell you the reason why, I want to let you guys know this up front. The reason why I do this and I do these giveaways, courtesy of Mr. Goosens for giving away, Dishonored. Sorry about that. Dishonored, the definitive edition. He gave that away. That was from the kindness of his heart, donating that game to the podcast. It was greatly appreciated. But the reason why I love doing these giveaways is to show my appreciation. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys out there that download the podcast on a weekly basis, especially giving feedback. I really appreciate that very much. Shout out to Cody for that. But it's also, just as a thank you. A lot of the times people say thank you, I appreciate you, thank you for everything you do, but they never show it. So I want to show you guys that I really, really appreciate the support. So the thing is, I messed up on my side. I made a mistake, and I was trying to get both of these out, for Christmas. It's the holiday, something that someone out there would be able to use for the holiday. So I'm going to have to give away both of them this week, because next week is going to be the last show probably until 2017. So we got this show and next week's show, and that's going to be it. So I'm not going to be able to give away both of them in that period of time if I do one show per card. So what I'm going to do is, for any of you guys that are interested in the Xbox card, you can definitely, whoever gets the answer first, you'll be able to get the card. But if you're interested in the PlayStation card as well, you'll be able to do that as well. I'm going to play two different game soundtracks, and it's up to you to name that game. The first one I'm going to play right now, and the second one I'm going to play at the end of the show. So make sure that if you're interested in this, you can either call the show at 443-261-4607 to give your answer, or you can also email the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com if you're interested, and tell me which card you want. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out because many people might want the same card. So I would only recommend entering if you have both consoles. I would truly recommend only entering if you have both. So here we go. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is the first game soundtrack. Name that game, people. And welcome back, y'all. Game players, let me officially welcome you guys to the Analog Circle Podcast, episode number 48. 8. I'm your host, Keon Mitchell, and as I alluded to earlier, thank you guys once again for tuning in to the podcast. I truly, truly appreciate it. Now, if you guys want to get in contact with the podcast, just like I said before, you guys can, you know what, let's just skip all of that, man. Let's skip it. It's no need to go through all of the other plugs. You know what? I'm excited, man. I'm very, very, very excited this week. I got into something very, very cool this week, man. I was able to experience for the very first time. Now, of course, the games that I did play this week was no other than Titanfall. I just beat Titanfall earlier today, and I must say that was a very enjoyable game. Once I got the mechanics down of running on the walls and the double jumps and actually shooting targets as I'm jumping around from platform to platform, the game was sensational. It had a very nice ending. The ending was really cool. And this weapon, no spoilers, but this weapon, for any of you guys that have beaten the game already, this weapon that they give you at the end of the game, oh my gosh, man, I would love to have had that gun throughout the whole game. It was fantastic. It felt so good. It was wonderful. But outside of Titanfall, I actually played VR this weekend. Yes, I did. I was able to get onto the PlayStation VR, and the game that I played, which left kind of an amazing, not an amazing, but a very, very sweet taste in my mouth. I actually got to play Battlefront in VR, Star Wars Battlefront, and let me tell you guys, it was nice. It was doggone great. I had a wonderful time. I mean, you are in the X-Wing. You're in one of the X-Wings. You're a pilot. And I must say that the PlayStation VR, yes, it is a little too expensive for me at this moment. Like I said, if it dropped $100 for me personally, I would pick one up, but that would have to include the Move controllers and all of the other stuff that you need, the camera, everything. I know that's wishful thinking right now, but for me, $300 for that, it would be worth it. And let me just jump into this demo. You're actually in the X-Wing and you're flying around. And this one, you're using the regular PlayStation 4 controller. So you don't have any of the Move sticks in your hand. And my goodness, I'm looking down, I'm looking up, I'm looking to the left and to the right, and you can look completely around you. You are very, very much so immersed into this experience. And looking down, you actually see the pilot's feet. You see the stick that actually controls the X-Wing. It's just I'm not going to say amazing, but just a wonderful experience. I'm looking to the left, I'm shooting, and I feel like I'm actually kind of floating, and I'm around people. So like I said before, I don't want to embarrass myself too badly around, people looking, but it really put you into the experience. It was, I guess, if I had to liken it to something, I would say it would be like playing in an arcade cabinet. Like at Dave and Buster's, they had this one Star Wars game where you jumped into it and it was very immersive because you felt like you were actually in the vehicle itself, one of the X-Wings or the TIE fighter or whatever. I can't remember exactly what the game was, but you were flying around. It really put you there. And this does the exact same thing. It was wonderful. Truly enjoyed it. It made me just that much more interested in VR. I would be sold. Sony, if you drop it to $300, you got me on a hook line, and sinker. So that was great, but those were basically the only two things that I got into. I almost got a chance to play the Vive over the weekend as well. A good friend of mine, he actually came over. I was at a party over the weekend, and he was trying to set it up. He was trying to hook up the Vive. He had the sensors and all, and he was close to getting it there, but he couldn't calibrate it right. So he was like, man, I'm going to have to get back up with you another day to check it out. So I'll be able to get some hands-on time with the Vive. Hopefully, probably it'll be the beginning of the year sometime, I'm sure. But that's about all I've been into. But speaking of Sony, man, I gotta eat a little bit of that bird, brother. I gotta eat some crow right now. Oh, man. NPD numbers came out, and God, dog. Sony has, this is like a two-piece hitter. Sony not only has sold 50 million PlayStation 4s to date, but they also won the NPDs. I told you guys here, I said I thought that Microsoft was gonna be able to pull it out. I said things are changing for Microsoft. They're doing amazing. People are starting to realize that it's backwards compatibility there. They have some good games on there. They have a lot of exclusives that have come out since the console has released. People are catching on, and the momentum is changing, and having that HDR Blu-ray built in, that 4K Blu-ray player built in, was gonna be the thing to take them over the top. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. I gotta eat that bird, the crow. This not even humble pie, but this crow pie is very, very nasty, but I gotta eat it. But my hat, I tell you, my hat goes off to Sony. They won the November NPDs, and both consoles did very, very well. They were selling great. I believe it was Microsoft that took Black Friday and Sony took Cyber Monday. So I'm just glad to see that the industry is healthy. And thinking about it like this, guys, just taking Sony as an example. Sony last generation sold 81 million PlayStation 3s. 81 million. They actually won that console generation as well by, I believe it was 1 million. They had outsold the 360 by. But putting it in perspective, that lasted roughly 10 years, the PlayStation 3's life cycle. They are only in year 3 this year, and they're already at 50 million units. To me, a lot of people have been saying consoles are slowing down. They're not going to be what they were this generation. A lot of people weren't going to be checking in because of the tablets, well, because of PC gaming, because of mobile, your phone, but this tells me that they are on track, I would say, to at least tie that number again, which means that the gaming industry is healthy. And that's what I care about the most. As long as the gaming industry is healthy, that's what matters. Because as long as it's healthy, we'll continue to get the games that we want. We'll continue to have these guys, making different platforms, making different consoles. And that's ultimately all I care about. I love Sony. I love Microsoft, but I've told you guys from day one that I prefer the Xbox One over the PS4, or it could be just Xbox itself. I prefer over the PlayStation because I love the controller and I love their franchises. I love PlayStation's franchises too, but for some reason, Xbox just appeals to me. But it's no way I would deny myself of being able to play everything that I could, because I never want to miss out on any great games. Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank, Until Dawn. It could go, I could keep going, but it's no need, because I don't want to make this another 5-hour show like last week. But anyway, long story short on this one, congratulations to Sony, congratulations to Microsoft, but really, congratulations to Sony for winning the November NPDs. Moving on to the next story. Now, this is in some more Sony news. Elite Dangerous will be coming to the PlayStation 4 and will have PlayStation 4 Pro support. Now, according to Frontier Developments, the game will launch between April and June. Now, some of the PlayStation 4 features will include touchpad functionality and optional motion-based head look controls via the DualShock 4 controller. Now, you will also be able to designate 4 points on the touchpad as hotkeys. Now, for you guys that might not be aware, Elite Dangerous actually came out on the Xbox One. What was it? I believe in 2015. It came out before that. It was on PC, but now PlayStation 4 owners will be able to get a chance to play and experience this game. Moving on into some Rockstar news. Now, Rockstar has released Bully Anniversary Edition on iOS devices as well as Android, and have somewhat cleaned up the visuals. Now, Bully was released a little over 10 years ago, and the game will sell on iOS as well as Android, mixing it all up, for $10. So Bully, I actually played Bully on the 360. That was the game that came out at the tail end of the PlayStation 2's era. That it was about wrapped up. I think the PlayStation 2 maybe had about a year or so on the market. I was already on to the 360 by the time this came out. And it actually released on the 360, and I played it for a little bit. It was actually a fun game. You actually had to take some classes. You had a slingshot. It was like a PG version of Grand Theft. Pretty much. It was PG down. I remember it had a lot of controversy even when that came out, because they thought that they were actually trying to promote being a bully and, picking on people, but it really wasn't like that. But for any of you guys that are interested, that want to take a trip down memory lane and find yourself playing some Bully, it is available once again on iOS as well as Android devices. Moving on to the next story. 3 more games. That's right. 3 more games have been added to backwards compatibility. They keep on adding to the list. Now, the games are as follows. The first one is Shadowrun, which are actually, Shadowrun is very interesting for me personally. I don't know about you guys out there, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Shadowrun was the first game that actually had crossplay between the 360 and PC. It was a first-person shooter. I believe they had a free trial of it at one time. And a lot of people didn't really like it. I think it was strictly an online game. It was strictly online play. I didn't get into it for that reason. You guys already know I'm not really big into just online games. It just doesn't work for me, but plenty of other people enjoy them. So for you guys that want to get Shadowrun, it is available for backwards compatibility. Next up, the next game is Space Ark, which I'm not familiar with at all. I have no idea what this game is about. I could not tell you. But the last game that's being added to backwards compatibility is Shotes Shogi. Nope. I have no idea about this game either. Now, these games are, like I said, they're available on the store right now, and Shadowrun will cost $15, while the other two games will cost $10. Moving on into some Nintendo news, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and Metroid Other M are available on the eShop Virtual Console. Now, Fire Emblem will sell for $9.99. So for any of you guys that are interested in those two titles, head over to your local eShop. And I mean, you can't get more local than home, so head on over to the eShop, download them, and go ahead and have a great time. Now, it's some more Nintendo news that I have here that's very interesting. It's been reported by Let's Play Video Games, this is very interesting, that the Nintendo Switch will offer increased gaming performance. I said performance when it's docked at home, as opposed to being played as a portable. Now, as it stands, the dock itself doesn't add any computational power to the console, but it does allow it to operate at a higher clock speed, with the innards cooled by additional fans found in the housing. Now, it's allegedly been designed like this to help the Switch better achieve 1080p resolution when hooked up to your TV. It's also been claimed that additional docks will be made available to buy at a later date, so users can have more than one home for their system. So it appears that the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, yes, we're looking forward to the January announcement of this. It looks like it actually gets more clock speed when it's actually docked. It looks like it's giving it just a little bit more to it. At a higher clock speed, that's cool. See, it has the fans and all, so very interesting. We'll have to see if this is true or not, but only time will tell. Next month is very, very soon, because we are wisping. I don't even know if that's a word, folks, but we are wisping through December. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. Moving on to the next story. The 5th and final episode of Telltale's Batman series is due out on December 13th. Now, if you're a Steam user, the first episode is available for free. My complete hat goes off completely to Telltale. This is a first. I cannot believe that they were able to sum this game up before the end of the year. Unbelievable. I believe that the first episode, you guys might have to correct me if I'm wrong, because I can be. I was wrong about the NPDs, by the way, of course, you guys know that. But I believe the game came out in, August? I believe it was August. It'll be August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, so basically, if it came out in August, like I'm thinking, they had an episode release every single month like clockwork. That's just amazing. Telltale took 2 years to sum up. What was it, the game? Was it Borderlands? I forgot which one it was. It took forever to sum up the game, to finish it up, get all of the episodes out there. The Wolf Among Us took a while to get done. It took months upon months and months. And also, Game of Thrones, that took a while. This is the first time that they have completed a game, all 5 episodes, in 5 months. to my knowledge. So kudos to those guys over at Telltale. Hopefully they'll do the same thing with The Walking Dead, and people won't have to wait until 2018 to figure out what the world happened to Clementine and everybody else. So once again, you guys that are looking forward to this, December 13th, the game will be released. Moving on into some more gaming news. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate. I kind of botched this one, but I'm going to read this. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate will be getting physical copies that are going to be available for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in March. And this is what I wanted to tell you guys. Just to backtrack, you will be able to buy the game digitally in March on the Xbox One. So no, it is not completely exclusive to the PlayStation 4. It's just time. Now, I told you guys that last week, and I also gotta make a correction. I said Ken last week was with Mega Man. It was actually Ryu. He was there, not Ken. He's in the red. Yeah, I was saying that I thought that Microsoft might have tried to strike a deal with Mortal Kombat, those guys over there, because they had the deal with Capcom for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to be exclusive on the PlayStation 4, but it is not. So I definitely have to take that one away, retract that statement. It will be available in March on the Xbox One for digital download. And I believe right now the game costs $25. I believe it's $25 to download on the PlayStation 4. So I'm sure it's going to be the same price on the Xbox One. But if you want to get a physical version of it, which also, sorry about that, guys, which also takes away the backwards compatibility being a thing. It's not going to happen for sure now if they're actually releasing a physical release that is supposed to be on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. It takes that out of the running. So if you guys want to get the physical, don't worry. It'll be available in March as well. Moving on to the next story, Abzu. Now, Abzu is now available on Xbox One. Now, this game is by the studio that made Journey and Flower. So if you're into those type of games, give this a try. Also, for a limited time, Gold members will get an additional 15% off of the game when they purchase it. This game actually looks very, very nice. It's underwater game where you're actually just discovering things. I mean, the lighting is nice. It looks like kind of like a tranquil kind of game. It has a little bit of tranquility to it. So if for any of you guys, like I said, if you're into Journey and Flower, you already know what these guys do. I believe the name of the company is what? Giant something. I can't think of the last name of it. But anyway, you guys that are interested in this game, definitely go over, check it out, and try to get that 15% off while that offer is available. Moving on into the next story. Now, starting on Sunday, December 11th, which is actually the day I'm recording this, Best Buy will be selling the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for $249.99. Now, the PlayStation 4 bundle, it actually had a bundle. It came with Uncharted 4, and for the Xbox One S, that actually still comes with Battlefield 1. Now, but the interesting thing is that they actually had the actual Battlefield console there as well. Well, no, I think that was $299. So nope, stop on that one. No, but it does come with Battlefield for the $249.99. But if you guys want the terabyte with Battlefield, the green, I believe the green console, I saw that for, I believe it was $300. Now I'm starting to think maybe not. My mom might have been playing tricks, but I thought I saw it for $300. Now, the thing is that the PlayStation 4 deal is going to be available until December 24th. So until Christmas Eve, you'll actually be able to buy the PlayStation 4 for $249.99 till Christmas Eve. But as far as the Xbox One goes, it only said for a limited time only. So that can mean by the end of the week, they're going to say, okay, that's it. We're done. That's all. So for any of you guys that are interested, definitely jump on these. If you were interested in them, looks like these Black Friday deals that they had for these two consoles are carrying over into the last couple of weeks of the year. So definitely hop on it. Moving on into some more Sony news. Now, Sony is currently running a promotional campaign in which, this is so cool, in which subscribers to the PlayStation newsletter have been receiving a one-use 20% off coupon code. But for a select few, virtual golden tickets will be given out at random to newsletter subscribers, which will be valued. This virtual golden ticket is valued at $100, at a $100 gift card to use on the PlayStation Store. So any of you guys that are already members, subs of this, of the newsletter, be on the lookout for this 20% off, which is really, really great of Sony to do. That just goes to show that they care. You know, they care about the game player base. They're trying to give you guys a little bit of extra for the holidays. Some people can say they're trying to get you to spend money, you know, by giving you this coupon. But I mean, hey, if they're giving you 20% off and you're not a Best Buy Game Unlocked member, I think it's good. I think it's great. You know, and for you select few, once again, to get the $100 gift card to just go shopping on the store, that's wonderful. I mean, that's great promotion. So kudos to Sony for having this. And once again, for you people that are subscribed to this, be on the lookout for it. You may be getting it very, very soon. Moving on, Uncharted 4's free cooperative bonus mode will launch this week. Now, Naughty Dog has confirmed this. Now, this mode is going to have you facing off against pirates with your friends. So any of you guys that are still playing Uncharted, that are enjoying that game, definitely link up with your buddies and have a good time with this. Moving on to the next story. Now, the PlayStation, some more PlayStation news. The PSVR will be getting a new game this week that was previously available only on the Oculus Rift, that's entitled While I Expect You to Die. That is the title's name, While I Expect You to Die. Now, this game will put you in the role of a spy that will have you going through dangerous situations and find yourself trapped and needing to use your telekinetic powers to help you escape different scenarios that will include getting out of submarines, laboratories, window washing platforms, and Dr. Zor's heavy booby-trap car, giving you a variety of locations to escape from. Now, currently the game costs $24.99 on the Oculus Store, so I'm pretty sure it will cost the same for PlayStation VR. So for any of you guys that have been looking for that software, trying to find those experiences, here's another one coming down the pipe very, very soon. Moving on into some fighting game news. Now, more news has come out about Tekken 7. Now, being announced after King of Iron Fist Global Championship, a trailer was shown announcing that Kuma, K-U-M-A that is, and Panda will be playable in Tekken 7, which will release on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. So this game is supposed to be out next year. It's not a confirmation, or it's not been confirmed, but many believe that this will be out next year. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not too familiar with Panda. I don't know about Panda too much, but Kuma was a beast. That's that bad dude, right? That had the big claws on him. Yeah, real big claws. Him and Roger. Matter of fact, you know what? I got to deviate for a second. Did y'all see Roger in real life on the internet earlier this week? Where he was doggone put a dog in a chokehold out in the wild. He had the dog in a chokehold, and the guy had to run off of his truck. He jumped off the truck. The doggone kangaroo tried to yank the dog, but he got loose, and then he started hopping around, and the man had to hit him in his beak. I mean, he hit Roger square dead in the beak, and he looked at him like, whoa, you weren't supposed to hit me. I'm a wild animal. He looked at him. He didn't move, but then all of a sudden, the kangaroo jumped away, but I found it very interesting. What the world is Roger doing out there? Doggone trying to kidnap dogs, putting them in sleeper holes and whatnot. Moving on into some more news. Now, Rare has announced that select players will be able to play test the Sea of Thieves technical alpha. Now, these lucky individuals will be selected from their insider program reached via manual sign up, and you'll be able to play on Windows 10 and Xbox One. Now, the alpha will begin on December 16th to the 18th. Now, guys, that is the end of the gaming news right there. Not a whole lot, right? That's all right, though. That's okay, because we're still gonna be here, and we're gonna get into the feedback section, which is the section I absolutely love, right after we play a little bit of video game theater. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
What is this?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
What is it? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Hope this is not Chris's blood. What is it? What is it?
What is this all about? I can't figure it out at all.
Here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you. That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich. Don't scare me.
That's what I was going to say.
But just take a look at this. It's Forrest. Oh my God.
It's awful.
I'm going to find out what caused Forrest's death. It looks like he was killed by a crow or something. Whoa! This hall is dangerous. There must be a back door somewhere. Let's try to find it first, shall we? Just a moment. I found something.
What is it?
It's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things.
Hey, what is this?
And welcome back from video game theater. Man, shoot, brother, did y'all hear how many times they said, what is this? Do y'all remember that game? Tell me how many of y'all remember what this game is that made this week's video game theater. Anyway, moving on into my favorite section of the podcast. It is, of course, I say this every week, and I'm going to say it again, ladies and gentlemen. It is the feedback section, and just like every week, Mr. Cody Clark has written in. Now, last week, you guys might not remember the question I was posing, but I was asking you guys, should games be shorter? Well, Mr. Cody Clark, he had an answer. And I want to jump into it right now. Now, the title of his email this week is 10 Minutes of Choplifter versus 10 Days Epic MMO Camping. Here we go. Mr. Cody Clark says, so Warren Spector had a post about this a few years back. The older he gets, the less time and patience he has for a long game. I laughed at the idea at first. I mean, I played EverQuest MMO for like 4 years. Same thing for World of Warcraft. Heck, I think I put 60 hours of playtime into Saints Row 3. Looking back at older RPGs and stuff, the reason a lot of those games took so long is that there was no internet. You had to blindly guess and chew glass to make progression. Now, if you don't know, you just YouTube that stuff. I think games can be as long or as short as they want to be, as long as it is clear in game that you are at the no turning back section. It really shouldn't matter. Just don't pull the BS where you claim a game is huge and massive and super immersive with all of the bells and whistles, then rush it out the door broken, buggy, and with 6 hours of mechanics to increase playtime instead of having a compelling story. No Man's Sky. That's the cough. No Man's Sky. I tell you, Cody, listen, brother, thank you for this email. And I want to say, you know what? That's a good point. Some games, they put a lot of fluff in them. And like Cody said, though, as well, you go on YouTube, you can figure out a problem in no time. Flat, oh, I'm stuck. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to tube it. YouTube, here I come. And that's what happens. Back in the day, it was no internet. It was no YouTube. You had a guide that you could get, but that would only take you so far. There's actually such a big difference being told what to do and actually seeing it in action. So he's absolutely right about that. Games though, being long, the reason why, too, Cody, I was posing this question was because, just like you were saying, just like Warren Spector in your email was alluding to, the older he gets, the less time he has and patience he has for long games. And I tell you, I've maybe started somewhat hitting that point. I mean, I'm 37, so I'm getting up there. I'm getting up there in age. And I tell you, like The Witcher, I don't know if I will ever finish The Witcher. It's just sitting in the background right now. I haven't played it, and when I think about it, it's such a daunting task to think about. I know it has 1 million side quests. I'm sure if I mainlined it, it might not be as long or as expansive, but it's a huge world. So it's so many games coming out at such a rapid pace, Cody. We're getting so many AAA games all at once that are flooding the market. It's so hard to jump from one game that's 30 or 40 hours to another game that's another 25 or 30 hours. It's so hard to fit a lot of these games into my personal schedule. And this is me personally. A lot of people, they actually enjoy having the longer play times, but for me, it seems like it's starting to become overwhelming, and I'm really not finding myself enjoying a very, very long game as I would. Like Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 it was pretty short. That was a little too short. I would say maybe Titanfall 2 might have been 5 or 6 hours. It wasn't very long. But if I can get a game, for me, the perfect length for a game for me, Cody, would be 10 to 12 hours. That's where I feel comfortable. Like, that's enough. 15 15 at the most. You know, that's achievable. When you get into the 40 and the 80-hour ones, oh man, it's just too much time being taken up. So I can't really do it. But Cody, I truly appreciate this email. I appreciate your personal opinion as far as you saying that let them be as long or as short as they want to be, as long as it is a clear end game that you are at the no turning back section. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Saints Row 3, I fairly enjoyed that game. I had a ton of fun in it. It was great. I beat it. GTA, and it is weird because GTA 5, I beat that. And that was another long doggone game. It was long. I put over 40 hours into that game. That was about 2 years ago. But I enjoyed every minute of it. It didn't seem like it was any padding. I didn't do a lot of the side missions. I didn't really, get into a lot of that other stuff. I just mainlined it. It was still 40 hours, but it was a fun 40 hours. So, kind of to your point, Cody, like you were saying, as long as there's no extra padding to make the game longer than what it needs to be, as long as it's just the game itself and it's fun and enjoyable, then that's really what should matter. And that is very true. I guess for some games, for me personally, maybe I can slog through. Other games, I can't. But I'm really rambling on way too long, you guys. I apologize for that. But Cody Clark, thank you for this email. And as a matter of fact, Cody gave us a doubleheader this week. He gave us two. He gave us 2 emails. So let me get into Mr. Cody's next email. Now, this is very interesting. This is the name of this email. He says, do we really need the game industry patting itself on the back? He starts off by saying, so much info to unpack post-game awards. I'd rather call them the game commercials because I had no interest in them. Didn't watch them and only heard secondhand that they sounded more gimmicky than, 80s ads for G.I. Joe, Transformers, Air Raiders, Mask, and all that other actual fun stuff, which the Game Awards were not apparently. Ouch! Oh gosh! He continues to say, I will admit to being an Overwatch fanboy. Oh, Cody! He put in parentheses on the Xbox. I have put quite a few hours in that game. I'm not a hardcore Call of Duty or Battlefield type of person, but I do enjoy the personality of Overwatch. It sort of creeps in on you as you mess about. Plus, my roommate bought the game, so I didn't have to pay for it. Bonus! Crackdown will come out. All will be well. I don't really see the point of the Game Awards. Since major outlets have their own awards, they do. And Sony or whatever ad cash keeps internet publication XYZ afloat. He says, not me. He says, looking at you, Giant Bomb. So, of course, a few of their games will get awards for Game of the Year. It's always been that way. That's a valid point, though. I'll get into it in a minute. He continues to say there are also big conventions like DICE and stuff that the industry gets together and does big tech stuff. I see these Game Awards as mostly super fluff. The industry already pats itself on the back. When one group of devs gets upset or hurt or laid off, they get scooped up by another group down the road or across the country, or expats from Blizzard, BioWare, Activision, Sony, what have you, make up a new studio and make noise. Down with Game Awards, up with honest, earnest conversations about games being fun, flawed, funky, and fresh. Mr. Cody Clark, you know, that was a lot to unpack too, brother. I gotta be honest with you, but I appreciate how you feel. I really appreciate your take, and that's what this section is about, getting other people's takes on things. Do we need the gaming awards? You know, Cody, I have to say, man, and this is just like me and you, we're vibing right now. I'm vibing off the email, and I really am enjoying it. So I gotta, you know, just talk to you, Cody. Me personally, Cody, I think we need the Game Awards, man. I think so. I thought that this year's Game Awards, they did a very, very great job. Now, I understand that Gillette Man was there all buffed out and whatnot, looking like a wannabe superhero. You know, I get it. He was there. They needed him. They did the little Gillette video game thing where he was fighting somebody else and made him slip on some gel from his razor or something. I mean, some crazy stuff. I get it. It was ads everywhere, every 5 seconds, but unfortunately, I think what it is right now, Cody, is that's just what it has to be for the moment. I mean, me, myself, I commend Jeff Keighley for taking it on. I think it's much better than the Spike Video Game Awards were. A lot more people on this show were able to get up and actually give speeches. I mean, some of them fell through the cracks. Some people didn't get a chance to actually get up there, but a lot more people got a chance to say their piece, accept their award, and it was enjoyable. I mean, the music, I enjoyed the live acts. I mean, they were cool, you know. I just thought overall it was growth. And I think that it's great to have a night, Cody, you know, where people in the industry, and like you said, it's not the only gaming awards show. I mean, I definitely get that. But I really appreciate the fact that he's, you know, Jeff Keighley is doing this. And I think that, you know, they need a night. We need, you know, video games need a night to just get out there, have a good time, show the winners. I did not agree with a lot of the winners, Cody. You know I didn't. I'm sure you didn't as well. I thought other games were more deserving. I mean, one of the games being Overwatch, I didn't think that should have won, but you said you're on it, you enjoy it, so I'm glad that you're having a good time with it, Cody. I am, but like I said, I can't really comment on it too much either because I didn't play it, so I didn't agree with that. A couple of other awards I thought could have or should have went another way, but they didn't. But overall, I think that it's necessary, and it's a nice gesture for me personally. My hope is that eventually they'll get better with time and have a better format. You know, he's still feeling things around, trying to feel things out, trying to get things together. So we'll have to give it a little bit of time. I'm sure the other award shows that come on TV didn't always start out as fresh and clean as they are now with a good format, great format that works. So I'm sure with time, you know, with Jeff Keighley having this award show, it'll get better. So we'll have to see. But Cody, I rambled on, I think, way too long on this one as well. But I truly appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the emails. You keep the pulse going on this section of the show, and I mean this section of the podcast. So thank you so very much, Cody. But with that, guys, this is almost about to wrap up this podcast. I have one more question for you guys, and this is, I don't want any people out there that are in the Sony camp to take this any kind of way. This is no shot. But this is an honest to goodness question. Does Sony have any more surprises left for E3 2017? What do they have left? I mean, come on, man. Let's go down just a small list. I didn't write the list down, so I'm going to have to go off of my bad memory. They announced this year, God of War, that's coming back. They announced The Last of Us 2, that's coming. They announced the Spider-Man game, which looks so doggone great. That got announced. Those are big games, along with the other. They got Ni no Kuni is coming out. We knew about Ni no Kuni, but we saw it again. That's coming out. What can Sony show us that would surprise us at this point at E3? Microsoft, they've been pretty quiet. We know about a couple of games that are coming. The main ones, Crackdown, Scalebound, Cuphead, and my mind goes blank after those 3 games. I'm not talking about the Forzas and all of the same run-of-the-mill games. I mean some new IPs that are coming. But what does Sony have left? I understand E3 is 6 months out. 6 months. That's a half a year. But at this point, I don't know what else they could announce. They could really blow people's socks off. Crash Bandicoot, the remake, has already been announced. It's coming out sometime. It looked great too. I think I oversold that last time. What I did, I just got to deviate. Well, I'll save that for last. But that's my question this week. Does Sony have any surprises left for E3 2017? Make sure you get in contact with the show if you want to participate in this at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com or call the show, God dog it, at 443-261-4607. So that from there is going to pretty much wrap up the show this week. Once again, I want to thank all of you listeners out there and supporters out there for continuously downloading the podcast, spreading the word, tuning in every week, giving feedback. I truly, truly appreciate it. I also want to let you guys know that the PlayStation Store card that I got is worth $20. So for any of you guys out there that want to get something off of the store, then hey, it can help with your purchase. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get ready to get into the last track for the Name That Game contest. And remember, you can always send your answers to the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com or call in your answers at 443-261-4607. Let me know which card you want, and if that card is available and nobody else has given the answer, then it will be yours. So with that being said, guys, this is the end of the show. But don't worry, guys, because we will do it again next week. But until then, guys, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.